Elena, we have another box. What's in this one?
I'm excited about this one. This is NZXT's new H510 Elite case, which was announced at Computex. I didn't go to Computex this year, so I didn't actually get to see it in person. So this is my first shot at it. It is similar to the H500, which is super popular, but there are some key differences to it. Namely, you get a whole bunch more RGB included. Costs $170, which is actually, that's US price actually, from what I've been told. Word on the street at least is that the international price is $150, and we pay more because of all the weird tariff stuff.
Oh, lame.
Oh, it's got caught.
Oh, the handles.
Yeah, let's see if I can get that out.
There we go.
There we go. I did it, everybody.
Yay, it's upside down.
It is. Oh, here it is.
Nice.
But here's the box at least. I believe it comes in two colors, this white and black, and then just a black. I actually like this white much better, and I requested it, and we were asked what color we preferred. So some of the things I was looking at when I was looking at the Computex coverage of this case was some concerns about the cooling, or rather like how much airflow you're going to be able to get into this. So we're also going to do a little bit of a teardown in addition to this unboxing, so we'll get a chance to take a look at that. You know, anticipation. There we go. So this has two glass panels. So you have one in the front and then one here on the side.
Oh, this is tempered glass too. Wow. Dang.
Yeah, it's pretty. If you look at some of the YouTube videos of this case, you'll see that you'll actually literally see the RGB fans that come with it, and it looks real nice. So there's definitely a good reason to have the tempered glass there. It's pretty.
That is nice.
Yep. And there's for all of you, was it ASMR fans? There is definitely something to peel on that glass.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that here. I have a bad habit of scratching things, breaking things, so I usually try to keep everything as pristine as possible until it's time to pass it off or do something else. So yeah, we have tinted glass on the front, and tinted glass on the side here. It's real pretty.
Dang, that is nice.
Real sleek. I'll turn this around for you. So, fans are presumably going to be pulling in air from this set of vents right here. And then there's a spot here for a top-mounted fan, and then a spot in the back for another fan here. And the bottom also has ventilation as well, presumably right here for the power supply. It's a fairly, in my opinion, it's a fairly compact mid-tower, but it seems like it still has plenty of space. New for CES this year, not just the H510, but I think the rest of the line, they added this USB-C port, and it supports USB 3.1 Gen 2. So let's open.
Tear it down.
Yeah. All right. Let's start with these thumb screws. There we go. That makes me ever so slightly nervous. I recommend that if you do this, or when you do this, you do it over carpet or something soft. There's a little, let me show you it to you real quick actually. Okay. There are these little nubs right here. So they go in here, and they have a little bit of a grip because of this, the sizing. So there's like this little light clamp effect. So that way when you unscrew it, the panel doesn't automatically fall over. Okay. But it means you do have to kind of pry gently. So it looks like everything's really easy. It's pretty easy to tear down. If you want to take these fans off and change them out, you would just unscrew here and then pull fully and down. Yeah. Alright, so some of the cables are still attached on the other side there, so I think if I actually wanted to pull this out entirely, I have to open the side panel, because I can see it right here. There's a bunch of cables.
Okay. Let's do it.
I'm going to just move this a little here.
It's a learning adventure. We're doing it all together.
Alright, so it comes with a controller.
How much is that usually?
I didn't actually look that up, and I should have, but I'm going to say that I'm going to hazard a guess, which I really shouldn't do, and I would say it's gonna probably save you, quote unquote, $40 to $60. But I'm not as familiar with NZXT's RGB system, which is a closed system. So here are all the cables. They're already wired up to this, and it's, as you can see, it's already attached to those two front air fans. It's spelled AER. That's their line of fans.
What's in that box down there?
This is going to be all the cable. Sorry, the screws. Oh yeah, there are some cables in here. Oh, that's right. I forgot. This is one of my favorite things about NZXT.
What do they got?
They organize the screws for you in these little Ziploc bags with labels on them. And this, I mean, I don't think they're the only company that does this, but I like it as a general thing for a company to do. It's just real nice to have. This is really nice. I've had people comment that, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but I think if you're new to building, this is especially nice. So some more specs about this case. It'll accommodate graphics cards up to, I believe the exact number they give is like something like 381 millimeters. I'm just gonna go with 380 millimeters. There is a included light strip here, RGB light strip. So you get the two air fans. Again, that's AER, that's the name of the line. So to those two fans that are RGB, and then you get this light strip here, and that's all controlled with that controller we see on the other side.
Okay.
So and then when you install the CAM software, the NZXT software, then you can, you know, change the pattern, the color, and all that kind of stuff. It looks real nice.
So what are you gonna do now with this, Helena?
I am going to pop in some hardware that we have. I'm not necessarily going to do like a build for the sake of, you know, spinning it up, putting software on it, benchmarking it, but more just to see like what's it like to actually put hardware in here, what's it like to actually route the cables, and so on and so forth. We're back. It's a new day. I am done building in this. I'm just going to go over some thoughts I had while building. Just want to stress that this is not a review. I repeat, this is not a review. Just wanted to let people know what it's like to build in the case, but I haven't done any testing on like thermals or sound, like how loud it is, etc., etc. So that said, really it's a very easy case to build in. So this is a revamp of the H500. At Computex, NZXT had announced the H510 as the base model, and this is the higher end variant of that. And unlike the H510 and the H510i, which is a slightly upgraded version of that, this one has a removable front panel. So I don't think we showed that in the previous video section, but basically what you do is you take out these two screws right here, and then this front panel pops off. And it makes it just a little easier to get in there with the front fans, and if you have a radiator in there. And even though this is removable, there's just something about having that access that just makes it a lot easier to work with.
Well, why don't we turn it on and see those fans in action?
Okay. Yeah, let me just pop the button here. There we go.
Oh.
Now, since we're not actually booting into, you know, Windows and using NZXT's CAM software, can't change the lights, but this is RGB, and I actually verified with NZXT this is all addressable RGB, so you have a little more customizable, a little more flexibility in what you can customize rather in terms of color schemes. So that is addressable RGB for those two air fans, and again that's AER, that's the name of the fan. And then there's the light strip underneath if you want to get
there
up
it
there.
is. There it is.
Yep, and this also is addressable RGB as well. So
and no RGB on the back fan, but
no RGB included on the back fan, but you can switch it out for a 120 millimeter NZXT air fan.
Nice.
It has RGB. One other thing I wanted to point out, if you want to come around to the back real quick, Adam, is that there is dust filter here. So there's an intake for air right underneath the front fans as well. I forgot to mention that. So there's this strip on the side for the vents when you have the panel on that has ability to take in air, and also from the bottom here. And for these side vents, there is a dust filter attached to the side panel, so you don't have to worry about like cat fur getting into your system, or at least not as much cat hair. You know, for cable routing, when I was doing this, as you can see, I did kind of a hasty job of it. But I mean, there's a lot of great channel routing here. I like the placement of the clips. Oh, by the way, there's also, if you want to add an LED strip, you can to the back of this cable management bar.
Oh, wow.
You just clip in right there. And the H510i version of this comes with 2 LED strips, but no RGB fans at the front. So if you want a better look at how it would mount, you can maybe look at some other videos that covers the H105i and how it goes right there, but you should be able to install your own as well. Yeah, so the routing's really good. I like the placements here. There's just these nice little subtle things where there's a little clip right here, so when you're routing the cable for your rear fan, it doesn't just hang funny. I would say like the spacing right here to get the cables up and under is nice. It's generous enough that if you have like a thicker power cable, it gets in there just fine, but it's, you know, not so cavernous that it's just kind of flopping around. The one thing I don't like is the length on the front audio cable. So part of the front panel pin type things.
This is it right here too.
Yeah, I had to actually take it out of this and kind of route it this way just to get a little bit extra length on it. And that might have to do with the motherboard I'm using. I just popped in a random micro ATX board that we had lying around. But in general, I like the cable management bar. A lot of people already know about it. I've seen something similar on other vendors' cases. It just hides that sort of thing really well. This channel right here, or this spot right here, to do like pins and stuff, or sorry, fan cables and that kind of thing, is pretty well spaced. Like, there's not that weirdness you get sometimes when you're trying to route the head of the cable through. I mean, I don't have large fingers, but even still, sometimes, even for me working in certain cases, it gets a little tight.
Nice.
Yeah, all in all, really enjoyed it. Oh, one other thing I would caution, in my haste to show you to show the removable bracket in the previous segment, I actually scraped the paint a little bit, which I'm kind of embarrassed by because I should know better. So one thing to note, when you're done unscrewing this and you're about to swing it out, lift it up and then out. And honestly, if you're paranoid about this kind of thing, because this matte black really does show even the lightest scratch real clearly. I don't know if it's showing on camera as well, but to our eyes here, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, you can totally see it. So my recommendation is, you know, that like kind of not rubber, but like the slightly rubberized drawer liners that you can buy. I would maybe cut a little rectangle of that, and when you're lifting this up, put it underneath, so when you swing it out, you can rest it on that, so you don't run the risk of scratching the paint. But that was my bad. I feel a little terrible that I've marked this case, but you know, I think with the lights on and, you know, if I'm gaming in a dark room, it wouldn't be noticeable. I would know it's there. That's gonna haunt me. So yeah, this is what the H510 Elite looks like. Seems like a great case. If you're looking for more numbers, we don't have that for you. Again, this is not a review. It's just we like to get into the case, build it a little, just kind of see what it's like. So we'll be doing more of these, and stay tuned for those.
Cool. Thanks, Elena.